Hey everyone, it is Rev Trev, and thanks for stopping by Kempner Sports. As you can see, I'm still in the hotel. This is my last day, and I want to tackle the topic of rest of the season, predicting the future. How do you predict? We've seen 5 incredible weeks of football, and we've seen some trends, we've seen some injuries, and how do you go out predicting the future? There's trade offers flying everywhere, and how do you know which players to go after, which strategies to go after? So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey, if you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, now is the time. I'd really appreciate the support as I'm trying to create great content to help you to compete and contend and win in championships. So let's dive into these predicting the future of the rest of the season ranks. So we're just going to talk about running backs today, for example. So number 1 running back in fantasy, and we'll be just talking about standard right now. You can apply it to 0.5 PPR or full point PPR, whatever you want to do. But like Nick Chubb is number 1 on this list. Saquon Barkley, who's had a monster season, is number 2. Now, there's a huge gap between these two guys. One has 105 fantasy points, one has 87. So Nick Chubb right now is the clear number 1 running back after 5 weeks. The question is Nick Chubb going to be the number 1 all year? We don't know. Right now, it's yes. This guy is a monster. He's playing great. Many running backs have failed. Many running backs have been injured. So you kind of have to plan around this and try to figure out what you're going to do. But that's a massive gap. That's like almost a 20-point gap from first to second, and then it gets real close. So then it goes Derrick Henry, who not everyone, many people are saying that had fallen off the map, and he hasn't. He is number 3. Eckler's had a couple monster weeks, and then there's guys like Josh Jacobs, who've been a monster. In fact, I have him in the show, and he's won me weeks because he is such a great player. But number 6 is really interesting, Jamal Williams. Now, Jamal Williams has been incredible, but DeAndre Swift has been out, and Swift's only back in week 7. So Williams has value now. If you can sell Williams right now, and now is the time to do it. Or you might want to wait because you don't know how long he might get re-injured. Who knows? It might just be worth to keep him. McCaffrey is 7. This is what's crazy. 8 is CEH, who's had a monster year, and everyone hated him before and told you to trade him, and he keeps having these great weeks. You think of Leonard Fournette is number 9, and then number 10 and 11 are 2 rookies, Damien Pierce and Breece Hall. Now, there's lots of hype on both these guys coming out. I got Damien Pierce in round 8, so this has been a real amazing. I got Damien Pierce in round 5, and so these guys are producing. Dalvin Cook is way down the list. He's number 12, 13, 14. He's 14th. Aaron Jones is 15th. James Robinson, 16th. Cordell Patterson, who's been injured for a long time, he's there, right there. Wilson, Kareem Hunt, that's 10. Number 20 is Stevenson, and now Damian Harris has gone down. So the production is going to be coming for these guys. 21 is Mixon. Penny's out now. 25 is Pollard. This is your top 25 people. I missed a couple at the end there. It doesn't really matter. Gibson and stuff, but Robinson's back now. So this is what we're talking about. So how do you rank these guys the rest of the season? Because at the end of the day, and this is the most important part of the video, it doesn't matter about names. It matters about production. Production is king because production helps you to win weeks. And so which one of these guys is going to continue? Which one of these guys is going to fade off? And that's how you figure out your sell high and sell low guys. So I just want to encourage you today. Here's a couple of things. I love Saquon Barkley. I think he could be the number 1 running back this year. He's that good. But what do you do with Damien Pierce? What do you do with Breece Hall? Do you hold on? Do you trade them? Do you try to get a bigger name guy? What about Josh Jacobs? He's been phenomenal. Is he going to continue that in Raiderland? These are the things. What do you do with Jonathan Taylor, who's not even in the top 25? Yes, he's been injured and missed a week and those kind of things, but his O-line is horrific. Do you trade for Taylor right now? Do you hold off? Is this a trend? And these are the things you have to figure out. For example, if we go wide receivers real quick, Jamar Chase has been a disaster. An absolute disaster. I would trade Davante Adams for Davante Adams. If you can get a deal for Chase, or Chase and something for Devontae Adams, I would do that right now. I do not believe in Chase for this season. T. Higgins is coming back. T. Higgins might be the number one wide receiver in the Bengals. Like, that is what we're talking about. Rest of the season ranks. So these are some of the guys who I think are going to do really well in the rest of the season. I actually think Taylor does turn it around. I don't think he goes to number one, but he's got a big hill to climb. But Damien Pierce seems to be the real deal. Breece Hall has incredible fantasy matchups. I would be trying to get him. Josh Jacobs, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Derrick Henry still stays the same. Miles Sanders has had a good year. Dalvin Cook, I think, is on the rise. Aaron Jones, I think, is on the rise. So how do you rank those? Stevenson's on the rise, guys. If you can get Stevenson, right now is the time to get Stevenson. He's going to be the number one back. He had like 170-something all-purpose yards last week. And so this guy is what everyone had billed him to be. So I'm going after those guys. Joe Mixon, he's lower than I was expecting. He's 21. So I don't know if you can get him for a deal. But I don't know if you can. But he might be a guy you might want to target. But Cincinnati looks like a mess. The Colts look like a mess. The Bears look like a mess. Seattle has an incredible offense. If you can get Kenneth Walker, now is the time. He's getting traded in leagues for like very high value. So those are some of the guys I'd be looking around. Another guy that I might be interested in is maybe ETN, just in case he's had a horrible start, but he's got a lot of upside. But with Robinson there, that's a tough one. And maybe Robinson goes down with an injury. Who knows? So there's some backup potential there that could come to fruition. So just remember, don't always get the glitz and the glamour of the names. Think about guys who don't have the names yet, and maybe you can get them at a lower price, and they would come and produce for you. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope that you win this week, and I hope that you're not only winning some weeks, but you're competing so that you can contend and that you can win a championship. Thanks so much for watching.